The holiday season is a time to enjoy with your family and loved ones, but safety should also be top of mind with a heightened risk of fires around this time of year. Marla Friebe is the Division Chief of Community Risk Reduction with Toronto Fire and joins us in studio here today. Thanks so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We've all been at these devastating fires, and we hear time and time again that they could have been avoidable. So I want to start first with what sort of fires do you see around this time of year and the sources particularly?
Well, when everyone is actually coming indoors because it's cold outside, we typically see a rise in cooking-related fires. Certainly around the holidays, fires related to decorations and Christmas trees, as well as smoking-related fires as well.
Okay, let's start with providing some tips and really good reminders for people out there. Talk a little bit about holiday decor, for instance. We're talking Christmas trees, decor around the fireplace, perhaps candles. What sort of things should people know?
Well, primarily candles are a major significant source of ignition around the holidays. Everyone likes to have a nicely lit candle on a table, but they don't realize how incredibly risky it is, especially around decorations, around Christmas trees. This is where we're seeing a winter-related rise in fires.
What about lighting, for instance, anything having to do with the Christmas tree when it comes to things you should do maybe before bed or before leaving? I always have a rule that I don't use candles if I know I'm going to leave, especially.
Absolutely. If you're lighting candles, blow them out before you even leave the room. It's just a really good habit to get into so you don't forget. Around lights, we always recommend that you unplug them before you go to bed or before you leave your home. It just reduces that risk quite a bit.
You know, Christmas time, holidays, New Year's Eve, it's always a time to get together with your loved ones, people visiting from out of town, families staying over here. Perhaps there's drinks flowing, you're a little bit more laid back here. And for you, this is a good reminder that, you know, when you're in a situation where you're drinking, that perhaps you're not as aware as you tend to be otherwise.
You're definitely right about that. Cooking and alcohol don't mix well. Your inhibition's certainly lower, as well as your sensitivity to the risks that are present. If you're cooking, there may be grease, there may be other ignition sources. We don't recommend that you consume alcohol while you're cooking. We like you to stay in the room, be aware of what you're doing, especially with the risk of the ignition source of a stovetop.
I get so paranoid if I make breakfast and I'm coming to work that I'm checking that stovetop, I think, a gazillion times before I even put my boots on. Is there a checklist that people should have, or a way people can maybe do a quick surveillance of their home to make sure that everything that needs to be off is off? Or is it just that, just surveying your home?
It really is that. Have that checklist on, maybe on your fridge. Reminders that say, you know, make sure the stove is turned off. Ensure that candles have been blown out before you leave the home. Unplug those Christmas tree lights and any other lights that you've got plugged in. By doing that mental reminder, it reduces the risk.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with that. It's always replaying in my mind because we do see these horrible stories, and just a really good reminder to make sure that safety is a top priority in your home. As we're speaking about safety, we do have to talk about fire alarms or detectors, sorry, and as well as carbon monoxide, which a new rule's coming into effect in just a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. We definitely want working smoke alarms in the home on every level. It's the law. They need to have working batteries, or they can be interconnected. They must be maintained and tested. But as you mentioned, as of January 1st, the law's changing around carbon monoxide alarms. Now you need one on every level of your home and outside all sleeping areas.
Okay, some really easy tips to make sure you and your family have a safe holiday. Marla Friebe, thank you so much for coming in here. We appreciate you.
You're very welcome.